Welcome and thanks for joining us. Today we'll be taking a look at logging in and editing content on the AMWA website. First, we can take a look at the different kinds of content that are on the site, and then we'll be able to go in and look at the different ways that we can approach those. Right here on the main page, we're looking at a slider. We also have our main menu, which is organized into an About Us, Our Work, which covers advocacy initiatives in the American Women's Hospital Service, Our Members, which covers students, residents, physicians, and supporters, as well as news and events. There's also a search bar, and we can look up anything that we might find in the site. Top level menu has a number of call to actions for some popular links. The slider section is a place where we can pull and draw attention to a particular area. It has call to actions and a button. Down below it are some of these frames that we can edit. This is on the main landing page. And then this section is what we want to talk about because we'll be looking at editing these later on. These are news items. Each news item can have a picture. It's got a headline, has a description of the event. Down here we see blog items, and the blog items also this is in the footer section. This gray area is the footer section of the website. Blog items, they show up on every page and are a different way to for users to contribute content. Look at a couple of other sections of the site that include different kinds of content that we contribute. So in here is Faces of AMWA. As you can see, there's particular kinds of content that goes in for each of the Faces of AMWA. In addition to our main landing page, there's a number of other landing pages for different kinds of areas. For example, student section. And there's different kinds of content that we can look at editing in here. And we see the same footer that we would see everywhere else. Those are some social media icons in here. We won't be looking at editing those, but good for us to know that they're there. We'll take a look at our blog feed so that we can see how content falls into that. So this is the blog area of the site. We're looking at a particular blog post, but we could also look at the overall blog. And we'd see the different contributed blog articles in here. Blog articles are a little different than news articles in that there's a lot more range in what can be talked about and covered in the blog. The news items is mainly looking at upcoming news or an event that has happened that we want to talk about. There's also on the blog page, we can see our Twitter feed over here on the right. And so any tweet that goes out to @AMWADocs will show up here as well as on the Twitter feed. We'll look at our Facebook friends. So those are some of the main areas of the site and kinds of content that we'll see. So let's take a look at logging in and editing that content. I'm going to log in as an editor. You can log in using your username or email, and if if you've lost your password or you're resetting your account, or this is the first time that you're logging into this site, you can click on the lost password link. Type in your email that AMWA has on file for you, whatever you registered with when you registered your account, or your username. Usernames are often the first letter of your first name and then your last name. And then hit the reset password link and you'll get an email in your account with a link to where you can click to reset your password, and then you'll be able to log in. We have a password here, so I'm just going to go and I'm going to actually log in as an editor before I got my password typed in there. I'll log in. Now, once I log in, I'm landing on my member homepage where I can do things like renew my dues or edit my contact information, and also view the membership directory. But for us, one of the more important things now that we're logged in is that we have this edit bar up at the top of the page. And this shows up for anybody who's registered as an editor on the AMWA website. And that lets you edit content in the pages. So if you're logging in as if you're logging in as a member, you may not see this, but you'll still be able to renew your dues and do a number of member areas. So we have a couple different things that we can do here up at this menu bar. We can add a new item. You can see there's a number of different kinds of items that we can add, like a blog post. We looked at the blog area before. A page. A page is more like a static page. It has timeless content on it that we're not saying, oh, this is like an upcoming thing, that the page is covering something and it's written in a way that it could be there forever. Faces, that would be if you're adding a Faces of AMWA member. News item, saw where those were showing up. And events. Now, since we didn't take a look at events earlier, I'm just going to click on it just so that we can see where events show up. There are no upcoming events on here, but events will show up in a feed for whatever events are entered, as well as can show up in a calendar view. And while we're here, we're just going to add a new page. This is actually a post. That's the one we clicked on. So I'm going to type this in here. Okay, so we have a new post. We're just calling it Hello World. So it's going to be up for a second and then we'll delete it. I've typed in test page here. Also, one thing that I want to do, because I want my post to have pictures in it, is I'm going to select a file. I can upload pictures, or I can select from files that have already been uploaded to the site. I'm just going to upload a picture of this t-shirt here. Let's just change our title, go along with that. Okay, let's hit publish here. All right. We've published our post. We've done our first page on here. So that post is live. We could click on the view post link here and go and take a look at it. There it is, showing up on our website. And take a look at it in the blog feed. There it is. And take a look at the main landing page. So then here in the all right, and there's our t-shirt down at the bottom.